thanks very much for having me and all the work that you do. It's obviously been a very productive day, the last couple of days, and I hope that we're getting our message across to the reps and to the offices and all the offices and reps and staff in the offices. Thank you for coming down and listening to what's really going on, because we're in an interesting time. My story is pretty simple. I was living life and been working hard, and I retired from the Navy. I had my care at the VA, the Phoenix VA. In 2015, my PSA from 14 to 15 had gone from about 2.0 to 14.7. So something was wrong. So they sent me to urology. Urologist said, yeah, we'll come back in 6 months. You've got prostate cancer. We'll tell you that right now. We'll figure out what we're going to do in about 6 months. I was lucky enough to have a radiation oncologist in my family who said, no, come to Seattle. You've got prostate cancer. We're going to take care of this. We're going to figure it out. And it was that, because we need to do some imaging. We need to figure out what's going on in there. So sure enough, they had found it. It was what's called a Gleason 7, 4+3, or maybe 8. So as it turns out, subsequently I was a Gleason 8 that it had spread already. So we went on. I was treated with radiation oncology in the beginning, and went on. My life was fine for 2 more years, and then all of a sudden it came back again. And this time I was actually giving a talk at one of the AUA conferences about veterans awareness and getting access to care inside the VA, changing the guidelines to the earlier screening. And the doctor sitting next to me said, you need to come to UCLA. We're doing a trial we're going to use our imaging technology because we believe that if we could see it, we could kill it. And so we need to come out. There's a clinical trial that's ongoing, and it has to do with this stuff called PSMA. Well, all of you know in this room what PSMA is, and it's all that nuclear medicine, but you've got to have the imaging to be able to see that sort of stuff. And it's a clinical trial before any of the named products were on the market. Again, it was early 2018. And so I've gone through about 5 of those images. So I think at one point, one of those manufacturers called me the most used guinea pig out there. So, but one of what they tell me, or what I've had discussions with my oncologist, is that every time that I've had an image done, every single time it has dramatically changed the blind course of care. And I will tell you all that I am here giving this talk today because of imaging. No other reason why I'm alive except for the fact that they keep finding stuff and it pops up. And we find it early, and then we treat it, and we move on to the next. I'm confident that I'm going to be around for a long time, because there's a lot of doctors that are invested in my life and invested in keeping me around, because I come here and talk to the congressman about doing these things, right? And I won't sit down, and we're not going to allow them to cut these monies, and we're going to continue to stomp our feet and our hands on the table and make sure that we preserve this research money. It was research that kept me alive in the clinical trial. And it's research that's, it impacts everybody, everywhere from the facilities to your programs to the patients that you're doing your trials on, whether it's phase 1 or phase 3. It also impacts all of the education that you do, all the new physicians that we're trying to train and educate. All of these things are encompassed in this thing called research. And so I hope that we're a little bit smarter in the future on how we make these cuts and we address some of these things. And it's up to Congress and our representatives here to help us write that and make sure that it goes up there. And so please, all of you, when you go home, I would ask you to write your congressman back. First of all, thank them for their time. Secondly, make sure that they get the message about what you're talking about as far as research goes, that it impacts not just your research, but for your laboratory, but the entire gamut of medicine. So I thank you again for that. I love this I saw these little buttons down here. What if there wasn't PSMA? I wouldn't be standing there. That's how I answer this. So I want to thank you all very much, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.